The 2022 UFOS U.S. Gymnastics Championships are brought to you by Angie. Angie's List is now Angie for home projects big and small. Get the Angie app today. By Prevagen. Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist recommended memory support brand. And by UFOS Recovery Footwear. Feel the ooh. Beautiful look at downtown Tampa, where for the first time, UFOS U.S. Gymnastics Championships are taking place. Night #1 for the men took place last night. The women get things started tonight. Also with us, the 4-time U.S. all-around champ, John Roethlisberger, is here. John, what's on your mind?
Oh, there's a lot on my mind, Terry, but we're going to start with gymnastics scoring. There's a lot of layers to gymnastics scoring, but for the sake of not overloading our brains, I'm going to try to keep it simple. There are two parts to a gymnastics that we use to score each of the athletes. And today, for our example, we're going to Olympic champion Nastia Liukin. This is Nastia at the 2008 Olympics. We're going to start with the difficulty score, that number right there. Every gymnast competing tonight will receive 2 points in difficulty just for doing the very basic requirements on each event. On top of that 2 points are added the values of the 8 most difficult skills that the gymnast does. Each skill is given a value. You add those together, you add the 2 points, and that is the difficulty score. Now we're going to move over to the execution number right there. Tonight, we'll start with a perfect 10 in execution. Out of that, things like form breaks, steps on landings, missed handstands, the biggest deduction, a fall. What's left of that execution, what's left of that 10 points, this number, Nastia, very nicely done, a 9.025. You add that to the difficulty, that is the gymnast's final score. And Nastia, I do have some news for you. I know that you got the silver medal on the uneven bars in the finals. I know you're disappointed. We went ahead and we changed the score. We felt like gold. We added a 10th. As of this moment, because I have the Surface tablet, you get the gold medal. Congratulations.
Thank you. You know, you just made my day.
Can I just say, you've never looked more uncomfortable on camera than the last time.
Yeah, I had no idea that was coming, but thank you.
So one more thing we've got to add. You're probably wondering at home, what is a good score? I will tell you, nobody's going to score like Nastia scored on uneven bar routines back in 08. The Coda point is different. A very good score today will be about a 13.5 on most events. If you average a 13.5, that means you'll get a 54 in the all-around. What we've seen in 2022 is that score very likely could get you on the podium. So keep that in mind, a 13.5. A 5.5 is a good difficulty score. An 8.0, somewhere in the 8.0, is a good execution score. So keep in mind that 13.5. If it goes up, if you see a green, that means it's a great score. You see a yellow, a little sketchy. You don't want to see red.
John, well done. Gives us a little benchmark there, but the yellow, the red, and the green, you can just stick with that too and just have an idea.
Absolutely. I remember, for me, it was always try to get a 9.0 or higher in the execution.
Which you mostly did.
So here we go. Get things underway over on vault. The 15-year-old from Gilroy, California, Nola Matthews. A couple of other events so far, high-level events like the Winter Cup, where she competed recently, the uneven bars champ in that competition.
Yurchenko-style vault. Very nice, full twisting, laid out Yurchenko. Not as difficult as we will see later on in the evening, but a really good start. I saw her in training, and I knew she wasn't slated to do anything harder, but it looked to me like certainly she's pulling it off in the gym. There's no question.
Yeah, and the difference between, you know, pulling it off in the gym and doing it here on this competition floor, the surfaces are so much harder. If you land a little bit short in the training gym, mats are softer. Here, you just don't really want to try something that you're not 100% ready and confident to compete.
Saw her at the U.S. Classic recently as well, 6th in the all-around there. How long does that take to get used to, the different surface?
Well, that's why these athletes come out here, you know, days, and they have their training sessions out here, but in the podium as well, which we will talk more about, but really has a different feel on every single apparatus.
Okay, Jordan Childs, who was one of the stars, the team event at the Olympics, and that U.S. silver medal, stepping in when Simone Biles did not continue in that team event. And here is the 21-year-old from Vancouver, Washington.
Same vault, but add a full twist to it.
Wow.
Excellent.
And that is the kind of confidence you see from an Olympian right there.
Yeah, that was great.
So take a look right from the table, right here where she blocks off of the table, so much height, and just a tiny hop there.
Good locked arms, throws them back to the table and doesn't push, but rebounds off that table. That's exactly what you want to see, and you want to stay, of course, inside those two main lines.
Jordan now a star at UCLA. So many of these athletes, the elite gymnasts now starring in college as well. The number 13-1 for Nola Matthews.
Yeah, and you see that difficulty score of that 4.2. So as you mentioned, Tim, a lot less difficult of a vault than we saw from Jordan, and even more to come as well.
Yeah, and with these vaults, every half turn is going to add another 4/10. So Jordan Childs, for example, is going to start at a 15.0. That's her maximum score.
So Connor McLean, the 17-year-old from Cross Lanes, West Virginia, is getting set to get her run at a national championship underway. Has been through so much in the last year. Lost her dad, Mark, tragically to COVID, along with her grandmother this past December, and took some time to get the motivation to get back in competition. Obviously, that's devastating. And the patch with his initials from Mark McLean on her leotard.
Yeah, and she told us, you know, her biggest motivation is to achieve her dreams, not just for me, but for my family. It's very, very important to her.
And obviously, your parents, big part of the coaching support system through all this too.
Yeah, my mom right there coaching her on the balance beam, and you know, she kind of credits, it's hard for me to credit them obviously, but she certainly has credited you know, them for calming her down, not as nervous on especially the balance beam. Of course, nerves are so, it's normal. It's important to be nervous. That means you care, you want to do your best, but you really have to learn how to control those nerves. And you know, she's been able to finally get those nerves under control, at least before the event even starts.
So yeah, she was there a moment ago as well, Tim.
Yeah, she used to actually make herself sick before the competition, and you know, honestly, it was a huge problem, and you know, that adds another level of stress that just makes it worse and worse.
But this weight right here, this is,
I was going to say, plus the weight doesn't help.
This does not help at all.
Especially before beam, right?
And especially when it is your first event, night one of the competition, but go time now. She said throughout her entire routine, throughout every single element, every single skill, she thinks about all the corrections that Anna tells her throughout the routine every day in the gym.
Big start right here. Back with a full. Perfect.
Huge tumbling series right here.
Oh.
Gorgeous.
Wow, that was fantastic. When you rebound into the laid out somersault, much more difficult, harder to land, get a lot more flight. Nice toes, good extended knees.
Absolutely stunning, that skill right there. So difficult.
Boy, this has been a really great routine. Just put this dismount to her feet. Double pike.
Wow.
Absolutely no visible look of nerves whatsoever.
Been thinking about the Olympics, the Paris Olympics 2024 since she was 11 years old. Told Steve Harvey on Little Big Shots, I'm training for the 2024 Olympics, not just that, but to win.
Oh, and that's exactly what she told us a few days ago in training. And that skill right there, so difficult, back with a full twist.
And watch this tumbling. She rebounds off of both legs, flies into the air.
as if she's on the floor.
You know,
it is just so incredible. And right here, 2 back handsprings into a double pike.
That was a phenomenal routine. Really, really good.
Good.
She agrees. On the big screen, they're showing a replay of that, and they're taking that in as we go over to vault. The 20-year-old from Auburn, Washington, Shilese Jones, another one of those names to certainly watch over the next couple of years in the run towards the Olympics.
Absolutely. She is a tremendous talent. She has been for a long, long time, has underperformed a little bit in competition, sometimes makes some mistakes that are a little bit like shaky concentration errors. She'll have no problem on this, though. Beautiful vaulter, tremendous power. She'll do the same vault we saw from Jordan Childs, or Yurchenko double twist.
Beautiful. Beautiful position in the air, completely stick straight, but has so much power, and that is also something that she struggles to do sometimes, is control that power. You saw that big, hot back on the landing, but just absolutely gorgeous in the air. You see her almost even have to take her arms out to stop herself. But yes, Timmy, as you were saying, little bitty feet separation there towards the end.
That's going to be evaluated extremely well. I've seen her do that better. She was a little bit high on the table and didn't get quite the same bounce that she typically does, though.
Nastia, what did it make of the number? 14.35 for Jordan.
Yeah, and that's great. So you see that execution, 9.35.
Yeah, that is, in today's gymnastics world, a 9.35 execution is out of the park.
As I was saying, you know, you always strive for perfection, that 10.0, but it's pretty much impossible these days. And so the 9.0 is something that you look for. In my opinion, right there, that 8.4 execution, it seems a little bit low.
But a solid number, 14.8.
Oh, a very, very solid. She has a huge maximum potential score, so.
All right, how about Jade Carey a moment ago, coming off that great Olympic success and now a star at Oregon State, Pac-12 all-around champ, floor champ there. This was her effort on vault.
And that's about how she did it just about a year ago in Tokyo. That's called a Cheng.
So she does 2 vaults, and Yurchenko double twist right there. She is capable of adding that extra half turn, but really no need here. Getting back in the swing of things.
They score the first one, and that's the number for that first effort on vault, 14.8. So it's been green, green. The scores, they're up there.
A lot of good stuff. You know, Jade, she was favored to win a medal, certainly on vaulting, but had a terrible mishap, and it was on her Cheng that she kind of missed her steps. I asked her, so what happened, Jade? Because it was so hard to tell, and she honestly could not tell me what it was that went wrong. She didn't know if she tripped, she just missed her steps at all. And I said, are you ever going to look at it? And she goes, not until I'm done.
That's the thing. She also hasn't watched it, so.
And you know, that is so common, you know, in gymnastics to get your steps messed up, but to happen at the Olympic final, it's devastating.
18-year-old from Overland Park, Kansas, getting set on bars. Leanne Wong, who went to the World Championships, won an all-around silver medal in 2021.
And she was a part of that team as an alternate in Tokyo for the Olympic Games. Unfortunately, her roommate, Kara Aker, contracted COVID-19, and she spent basically the entire games in quarantine.
Gorgeous lines right here. Really, the judge is looking for those handstands right on top of the bar.
Oh, that was great.
Perfection.
New element for her. Excellent. She faltered on that just a couple of weeks ago at the U.S. Classic. Beautiful.
Just the dismount right here.
Might be one of the best routines I've seen her do. Double layout.
Guys, what a start to this meet, huh?
Unbelievable. They've come to play, all of them. I don't know if I've ever seen her do a better bar routine without any form deductions. She had great rhythm.
So once again, looking for those handstands right there. And here's that first release move. And you see her just catch the bar. Her eyes see it first, really, and then come the hands right on top of the bar, finishing right in the handstand. And there's that new skill, as you mentioned, Tim, little leg separation at the very end.
Gets a lot of speed on her giants. She's got to flip her body 2 times over, and she stays board straight in the air, just the smallest little hop. If it's less than shoulder width apart, that's 1/10 of a point, which that certainly was. More than shoulder width, it's 3/10 off.
Star at the University of Florida now, too, helping the Gators to a second-place finish at the 2022 NCAA Championships. And we wait for that number. Earlier on balance beam, Skye Blakely, the 17-year-old from Frisco, Texas.
Love this mount. Very, very interesting, fun. Very nice. It's a lot harder than it looks. Triple turn in a wolf position. Now
I always say it's not my favorite skill, but it is so difficult. But this, even more difficult. Oh, I'm just was a little off right there.
Heartbreaking. You know, it's we talked about it in the men's show last night. It's gymnastics. It's always about risk reward. You do the harder stuff, you potentially can get a better score, but you can also come off the apparatus just like that.
All right, how about Kayla DiCello, the 18-year-old from Boyd's, Maryland, Tokyo Olympics alternate. After a 6th-place finish in the all-around at the U.S. Olympic trials, she got things started on floor exercise.
You know, she's going off to college here. Actually, from this competition, all of her bags are packed.
Yeah.
4 of them, I think. She
yes,
said.
4 suitcases.
Yeah.
Great routine here. She said that still making that world championship team later in the fall is maybe an option. She hasn't really decided. She was playing very coy with us, saying that perhaps, you know, right now she's dead set on going to college, but perhaps something could change her mind.
World all-around bronze medalist in 2021, headed to the University of Florida to compete for the Gators. 13.85, the number for Kayla DiCello on floor. And Leanne Wong, 14.2, guys.
It's another very good score. Execution score, 8.5 on uneven bars. That is hard to get to. There are so many different errors that you possibly can make. You know, it's not just you do one skill and they could take a deduction for one thing. That skill, there can be, you know, there might be 7 or 8 different things that you can deduct for.
So underway and closing out the opening rotation. First of 4. Jade Carey, the top numbers so far. A lot of gymnastics left tonight, though. Night number 1 of the UFO's U.S. Gymnastics Championships in Tampa.